Hi, and welcome to English with Confidence. Now, I know whom is considered quite an old-fashioned word now, but it still matters in formal writing and is often used incorrectly. So this video is a bit meatier than usual because it needs more grammatical explanations, but let's get started. Okay, if you're familiar with the terms subject and object, that will help. The subject is the doer of an action, and the object is the receiver of that action. For instance, Tommy looked at the pizza. So Tommy is the subject because Tommy did the looking action. The pizza is the object because the looking was done to it. So what you need to remember is who functions as a subject, the doer of the action, and whom functions as an object, the recipient of the action. That's the really important thing to remember. So let's see some examples. Polly is a musician who loves playing the guitar. Who refers to the subject of the sentence, Polly, who is the doer. Pearl married her childhood sweetheart, whom she met when she was 16. Here, Pearl is the subject, but her childhood sweetheart, who we're talking about, is the object. So we use whom to refer to the sweetheart. What about starting a question with what or whom? Subject and object pronouns matter here too. Like who, subject pronouns are the ones you use to talk about the doer. Subject pronouns being I, you, he, she, we, they. They are the pronouns that do the action. For instance, they showed us the garden. They did the action. They did the showing. So that's a subject pronoun. Whilst like whom, object pronouns are those you use to describe the recipient of an action, object pronouns being me, you, him, her, us, them. So using the same sentence, they showed us the garden. They is the subject we've talked about, but it's us, which is the object that received the action, that received the showing. So us is the object pronoun, and therefore you need whom. So if you'd be able to answer a question with a subject pronoun, then the question would start with who. For instance, who came to lunch? You could say I did or we did. They are subject pronouns, so we need the word who. But if you would answer a question with an object pronoun, then it starts with whom. For instance, whom did you invite? The answer would be him or her or them. They are object pronouns, and because the answer would be an object pronoun, then the question would begin with whom. Now you could go into more depth with who and whom, but this video just gives you the basic overview that you need. So let's have a go. This is your turn. Grab a pen and write down which is the correct version, which you should use, who or whom, in each of the following sentences. You can pause the video as always if you want to have a quick think about it. Kate manages the designer, who or whom she recruited. Kate is an editor, who or whom manages 5 members of staff. Who or whom did they invite to the meeting? Who or whom was at the meeting? Okay, do you think you've got those answers? Okay, first one. Kate manages the designer whom she recruited. The reason being Kate is the subject, she did the managing, the designer is the object who received the action or receives the action of the managing. So as it's about the manager, as it's about the designer who is the object, we use the word whom. Kate is an editor who manages 5 members of staff. That's because Kate is the subject who does the managing. So so it refers to the subject, so it's who. Whom did they invite to the meeting? So they are the subject, they're the doer of the action, so we need whom because it's the object pronoun, it's the recipient of the inviting. And who was at the meeting? It's just who, because the subject would be the answer. You would say, I was at the meeting, or he was at the meeting, subject pronoun, therefore who rather than whom. I do hope all that makes sense. It was longer and more complex than most of my videos, but hopefully it was useful. Please do like and click subscribe to receive your weekly tip for writing English with confidence. Thanks and see you next time.